Hello and happy Friday! I'm excited for today's video. Yay! So today I just found this old piece of paper that is 5 years old. Can you believe that? I've wanted to make this video for forever and I just found this today, so I gotta make this video. So I want to talk about the topic of love and fear, or should I say love versus fear, when we come from different places in our actions, in our life, in things we choose to do, in how we treat other people, in how we treat ourselves, in the choices that we make in life. So let's just start. It's gonna be messy. It's like a circle of things. I had to complete it today, but I'm excited. I have no control over the parrots and the birds that are outside of my window, so that's what you're hearing. It sounds probably like a Brazilian jungle. You're welcome to my jungle. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video. So I'm pretty sure you've heard already that sometimes that there's this notion of we come from two different places while when we decide how we act. We can come from a place of love and we can come from a place of fear. And a lot of people say that these are two circles that are absolutely not inclusive. They cannot be brought together. They're absolutely separate and cannot be brought together. And so this is the idea I was going for when I first started drawing these circles 5 years ago. And I was just trying to understand the dynamics of this idea and entertain it and try to see how I feel about it. So when you come from a place of love, I've discovered two different things. That in general, coming from a place of love will lead you to two things. It will lead you to personal growth and it will lead you to connection to other people. And when you come from a place of fear, you will go exactly the opposite way. You will go into your own personal regression or devolution, and you will disconnect from other people and from yourself. So let's delve deeper into it, shall we? This is gonna be messy. I like messy. So, when you come from a place of love, you have peace. You have peace because you feel enough. You are healing your own wounds, and you're, oh my goodness, this parrot is kind of like fighting me right now. This is beautiful. Means we're talking about important things. Otherwise it wouldn't be screaming at me. You have peace. You can't have peace in fear. You when you come from a place of love, you work through your own issues and you're able to achieve inner peace. And peace and love always kind of like come together in spiritual beliefs and religious beliefs, in Christianity especially. A lot of people will wish you to have a peaceful day. It's kind of like a very high vibration, if that's how we look at it. And it's a very distant place for a lot of people. It's like a perfect destination to reach for a lot of people, but it is totally achievable. So when you act from a place of love, you can achieve peace. When you act from a place of love, or when you have love inside of you, you have acceptance, first and foremost, of yourself. You have acceptance of self. You're able to see yourself, first of all. You're able to see yourself, and so you're able to see others as well. And you know that we are all unique, and you accept others with their flaws. No one is perfect. No one is supposed to be perfect. And so when you come from acceptance, you're able to actually love more. And it's like a loop that feeds itself. And so love becomes, in a sense, infinite in that way, because you need acceptance to be able to love other people. And so when you come from a place of love, you are led to connection to other people, and you have acceptance of them. When you're able to see other people and you know that you're not perfect and they're not perfect, and you accept all of it, you're able to be vulnerable. with other people. And so this leads to even more connection, and you are connecting to other people through vulnerability. When you come from a place of love, you are courageous, you are able to be brave, you are not doing things in a goal-oriented way. You are, how do I say this? Love is not conditional. You come from a place that is giving, not to receive. And so in that way in that mindset, you can be courageous because you do things because they're right to do. You don't do things to receive more things. And so you're able to be courageous and you're able to be brave. And so love in that way breeds bravery, and fear, exactly the opposite. Fear breeds cowardice. That's where I'm digging at in the end, but we're gonna get there. And so when you're courageous, you're also able to be vulnerable. You need to be able to have acceptance and courage to be vulnerable with other people. And so that this is how you create connection with other people. When you have love inside of you, you have compassion of others, because when you're able to see them, you're able to put yourself in their shoes. And so you're able to feel their pain, feel their happiness, be excited for them, and be compassionate towards them. Whether it's, in whatever type of a situation, can be black, can be white, can be gray, can be like mundane things. People can be bored and you feel their boredom because you've been there. And so in that way, you are able to experience and express compassion and connect with others in that way. When you're coming from a place of love, you how do I express this? You are at peace with yourself. You know yourself because you're self-aware. And so because you're self-aware, you are in a way enabling yourself to trust your own intuition. And so with your own intuition, you reach a new level of understanding, which is a little bit more like knowing. It's less understanding. It's like a whole new level. When you can understand things logically, only with your mind, on mind level, when you're using your heart, you can reach the level of knowing. I don't have a better explanation about this, but I am determined to make a video about that one as well. So yeah, you're brave enough to trust your inner knowing and your intuition, and it's usually right. It's usually spiritual as well. So you're able to understand others as well, and that also leads to connection with others. When you are acting from a place of love, you have confidence. You know yourself. You've worked through your wounds, or you're working through them, and so you develop confidence. And also confidence leads to courage, and it's connected. Either courage leads to confidence, or I think they're both connected. I don't know how to express it in English, but they're all very important together. And so they're connected, and they all connect back to connection with other people. When you have love, you are able to be in the moment. Just be. Not get lost in anxieties of the future or flashbacks of the past. Just be in the present moment. And when you're in fear, it's very hard to do that. I'd argue that it's kind of like almost impossible. So when you're able to be in the present moment, this is where you get the knowing, this is where you get the intuition, this is where you're able to actually see other people and connect to them. Without that, it's going to be very hard to go towards connection. Oh my goodness, these parrots are amazing. And I forgot to turn off my AC. So I'm guessing it's really, really loud in here. noisy. Oh my god. Sorry guys. Now it's going to be a little bit more normal, a little bit more calm. Sorry for all the noise. I was trying to cool the room before, and now it's kind of cool. So yeah, you when you're able to be in the moment, you're able to also focus on yourself. You need to be able to focus on yourself, to be self-aware, first of all. I know, ingenious idea, right? And to be able to see other people, to be able to be present in the moment, to be able to connect with others, to be able to grow. And so self-awareness breeds growth. Self-awareness, courage, being able to be truthful to yourself and vulnerable with others, it leads to a place of growth. And so growth and connection together bring this whole new idea of meaning. It's creating meaning into your life, because you can have meaning into your life without connection to others. Like, theoretically, I think it's achievable, but in general, I think growth and connection together give you meaning. When you come from a place of love, you are able to feel free, and this connects to the whole thing of being in the moment and being present. You feel free. You are just being. You're light in spirit. You are not tied to whatever happened to you 15 years ago, and you're not worried about 5 minutes from now. So this is the side of love. I was thinking in the beginning of maybe doing one against the other, but I think once I start with fear, you'll understand that they are really kind of opposite, and you understand why I think they cannot coexist. So fear breeds disconnection, and it breeds regression. In my opinion, it breeds devolution, if you will, or regression. I think it's more connected. So when you have fear, it's kind of confusing. It's got like a lot of little arrows, and they lead to different places. And yeah, when you work from a place of fear, you can get really toxic as well. So first of all, fear and shame go together. When you have fear, you're able to feel insecure. You go dark places. You don't feel whole like you would feel if you come from a place of love. When you have love abundance in yourself. When you come from a place of fear, you're always afraid that you are not enough for whatever or whomever, or for whatever purpose you're trying to draw in your mind as a dream. You come from a place of insecurity. You start to imagine bad things that might happen, that might prevent your dream from ever coming true. And so you're insecure. That fear breeds insecurity, and when you're insecure, it's very hard to connect to other people, because then you're not able to really be vulnerable with them. And when you're not vulnerable with them, it connects also to what's the word for that? The unwillingness to show yourself, to show yourself in front of other people, to be seen. And so because you're not being seen, you're not really willing to do the work to actually see other people as well, and you're only seeing them through your own prism of your own insecurities, and that breeds even more disconnection. So when you have insecurity, that breeds disconnection. And if you have some my neighbor is out. If you have some unresolved issues from the past, some really traumatic wounds from the past, you maybe have some toxic shame or guilt that you haven't resolved. So fear is straightforward connected to shame. You don't want people to know about these events. You don't want people to see those shameful things about you, even if they're not so bad. Usually they're not that bad. You just make them so big in your head. And So shame kind of like connects into insecurity as well, and then breeds even more disconnection. It also breeds isolation. And so in a way, it's sometimes emotional isolation while you're still being an extrovert person and you're connected to people in a way, but your connections are more shallow. They're not really authentic. They're not based on your unique self. You're not really showing who you are. You're wearing masks essentially for different people. And so this is how you have isolation that sometimes can even breed addiction. Now, isolation and fear and addiction are really tied to trauma, in my own opinion. Addiction is very tied to trauma. It's not my only opinion, but a lot of people are talking about this. I think addiction is mainly coming into our lives because of unresolved trauma, and we're just trying to escape it through substances, through activities, through people. It can be anything. It could be a sport, it could be a game, it could be alcohol, it could be a person, it could be the idea of dating, it could be like the idea of learning new things. You can be addicted to so many different things, and sometimes it's better, to channel yourself into a healthier addiction, if that even exists. Like, get really excited about sports, for example, and just follow that excitement, than, do drugs, for example. But that's just my own personal opinion. So, when you have fear, you are more prone to judge people. I know in today's society, everybody judges everyone. It's like a given. Doesn't mean that's the way it's supposed to be. It's very hard not to judge people, but when you really truly come from a place of love, you see people, you accept them, and so you don't judge them. You realize that the way you judge people is actually you judging yourself, because you have aspects of yourself that you haven't really accepted, and what you see in them that you don't like, these are actually things that you don't like about yourself, and so you're judging them negatively about them. And when you like someone, you actually pick things that you think that you don't have inside of you, or you want to grow, and they actually have those attributes, and so you're judging them positively on those. So when you have judgment, that of course breeds even more disconnection and hate. I don't think you can have hate if you come from a place of love. There's this really popular theme in the late years that says that the opposite of love is not hate, it's apathy, or it's not caring what happens to the other person. But yeah, fear leads to hate. What is hate? What is anger, actually? The emotion of anger, if we feel it when we feel endangered, when we don't feel safe, when we feel like the person in front of us could really hurt us. If that could be like physically, could be mentally, could be in any possible way. And so fear breeds hate. Fear breeds inadequacies because of shame and guilt, and also, of course, these inadequacies, feelings of being less than, will breed disconnection, because you won't be able to really deeply, honestly connect to other people. Let me see. So you have fear that also breeds numbing. When you're so disconnected from other people, it's like another one of those loops, when fear breeds disconnection, and disconnection breeds numbing, and then that breeds even more disconnection, breeds suffering in a way that might not be really conscious, but it is there, if that makes sense. Please stay with me. I'll try to kind of like explain that a little bit more in a minute. So in general, we have fear that breeds anxiety, because, oh my goodness, it's so hot in here. I'm so anxious of the coming 5 minutes. Not really. I know I'm gonna turn on my AC. It's gonna be good. Okay, yeah. fear breeds fear breeds insecurity, it breeds numbing, anxiety, and because you are trapped in anxiety or you're trapped in flashbacks, you are activated by your adrenal glands, but you are not able to be in the moment. You're either stuck in the past or you're like constantly running from the past to the future and back, and it's a crazy movie, I know, and it's in your head, and you're not really able to enjoy the present moment, to see what's in front of you, to actually appreciate what's in front of you, to connect to the little things in life. To be able to appreciate the little things in life, you gotta be able to connect to love in your heart. So in that way, you get stuck outside of the present tense. It's really hard to be able to enjoy the moment when you're in fear. And so we've got this connection. And let me see, I do have one really long arrow in here. Everything in here is arrows. I like arrows. Yeah. When you come from a place of fear, you, instead of being focused on yourself, you tend to focus on the other person. You are more goal-oriented and outcome-oriented, and you're not really able to be your most authentic self because you haven't embraced that yet, and you are trying to manipulate situations and people, and that's where you can go really toxic with people in relationships. And so because you're focused on the other, you're constantly trying to figure out their head, their motives, their actions, their thoughts, their I don't know, strategies for the future, just to be like one step ahead. And this is how you lose yourself from the present to the future, and it's like a constant loop that feeds itself. It's really hard to get out of it, but it's possible. You can do that. You can totally do that. And so because you're focused on other people, you tend to get more controlling and manipulative, and that breeds suffering in other people and in you as well. Even if you think that you're doing a great job manipulating other people, you're not really enjoying everything that life has to offer you, all the good stuff that life has to offer you and that people and relationship have to offer you. And so in that way, you have suffering, disconnection, not feeling good enough or whole, and feeling fractured in a way. Not really fractured as in the consciousness is fractured, even though that could be an option as well, but in a way you feel less than. So let me just see if I actually missed something, because I do feel like there are things that I haven't really mentioned. But in general, yeah, that's my little old piece of paper from 5 years ago. I would so love to hear what you think about this. It's really simplistic and logical. I didn't really go into depth, but I feel like it all connects. It all connects, and it's all it's all positive and negative if you choose to look at it that way, but it's all dualistic. And it's all inverted in a way. You got like love breeding connection and breeding feelings of being whole and complete, and breeding growth, and then fear doing exactly the opposite, making you less than, not letting you grow, making you kind of like go back, revert your steps in your personal evolution as a person, and breeds suffering in others and in you, and also breeds disconnection. And so this is what I wanted to talk about today. This video is already so long. Oh my goodness, 24 minutes, and my phone didn't die, so that's awesome. And I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please feel free to follow. Even though I never asked this. Why did I just say that? I have no idea. But yeah, have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy yourself, and I'm going to see you soon. Bye.